What's good, y'all? Time for a DL short. Happy Monday, first of all. Hope you guys had a good weekend. So there's some clips out there. I guess Friday. I think this was Friday. Every Friday, Fresh and Fit does a call-in show, and someone called in and was asking them, why don't you work with, why doesn't Fresh and Fit work with some content creators, right? And it boiled down to why doesn't Fresh and Fit collab with Just Pearly Things and whatever podcast, right? So Myron answered it. Just he kept it 100. He said what he had to say, and it kind of sparked some stuff, right? It sparked some stuff. Uh, what it really sparked was, I mean, it showed me how soft old boy Brian is out there on the West Coast, bro, with whatever podcast, bro. Like he got all up in his feelings, bro. I thought it was funny. But I was sitting around just kind of chilling, and I came across a new podcaster that goes by This Is Shah. And he did a quick thing on it, and I was watching it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and fire up the old video equipment and talk about this as well. So shout out to that guy. This is Shah. Go check out his content. He's a new content creator, has a little over 1,000 subscribers. He's doing his thing. I think he had like 1,400, to be honest with you, but he's getting his watch time up. And he has some really good comments and some good topics on his side of YouTube. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I subscribed, and I'm kind of checking out. I'm consuming his content. I reached out to the brother. Hopefully the two of us can sit down and have a conversation about this. But let's check this out about what's going on. Check this out.
Hey, welcome back, guys. This is Shah. I found this clip from Fresh and Fit, and it stood out to me because he's asked like why he doesn't work with certain other content creators in the sphere. He basically says why he doesn't work with Pearl. Then he says why he doesn't work with whatever podcast, and he calls whatever podcast basically like just kind of in it for the money. And what's funny is that the whatever podcast channel then comes back and leaves a comment on this, basically accusing them of the same thing. And to me, this is fascinating because I sometimes think that a lot of the creators in the red pill or the manosphere space are just kind of grifters and trying to sell their products. It's just funny that they're calling each other out because I think it really reveals the truth of the situation. Let's go and watch the clip and just see what's going on.
Want to make sure we address this appropriately. Who are you talking about specifically?
Yeah,
go
exactly.
Ahead. Go ahead.
Who in detail?
Who are you talking about specifically? And I'll go ahead and tell you why we don't work with
just
them.
Just Pearly Things and whatever podcast.
I knew he was going to say that.
Yeah.
Okay. Number one, y'all might not know this, and I have no problem with Pearl personally, but she made a hit piece on us back when we were going through the fucking situation with Anus and Reach.
Yes.
Okay. I have a serious, as you guys know, loyalty is extremely important to me. If you talk shit about me, I will not forget. And she made a hit piece on us. Y'all might not know about this, and I'm not saying this to attack or whatever, but facts are facts. She made a hit piece on us back when all this shit was going on in August of 2021. At the worst time, she kicked us when we were down.
Yeah.
So that's why we don't work with her. There's your.
I can get that. I mean,
And that is a true. That was 100% true. Y'all know, those are my guys. And me and Big Mo was just talking about that the other night when we were down in Miami at CME. Shout out to Donovan Sharp. Shout out to all the fellas who were down there. Yeah, because a lot of people want to know, like, well, why don't they work with Pearl? And it came up when we were at the cigar lounge. And, Mo was like, ask them. He's pointing to me and some other dudes. I'm like, yeah, that's why. You know what I mean? And again, like he says, like, hey, man, they're not going after her. They just like, stay over there. You know what I mean? That's just stay over there. And she knows it. I mean, it is what it is. She knows it. How did she really get her start? I'm not going to say this got her start, but she was on Fresh and Fit on that panel. And I think that's when she got the idea, like, man, I could do this. And then, look at her now. Like, so shout out to her, man. I gave her props for her work ethic. She does and says some things that I don't personally agree with, but I mean, everyone does. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But yeah, that's the reason they don't rock with Pearl. Let's continue.
If someone makes a hit piece on you, I wouldn't see why you'd want to work with them. So that's easy.
Answer. Now, as far as whatever goes, the reason why we don't work with them is because I'm not going to align myself with someone that isn't a part of the red pill space for real. I'm going to just call it $1 million.
It's money.
He's here for money, bro.
Yeah.
Let's just call it all the way 1,000. He's here to make a buck, which is fine. I'm never going to knock someone for being a capitalist, but he's not really in this space to help men from what I can see. If you're out here selling pocket pussies and, having, long ass podcasts, draw out clips, etc. I understand the business strategy, but we don't align with that because you guys have asked us a million times. So I want to address this once and for all. Pearl, y'all know why. Whatever, we don't align in our belief system. That's not to knock him or who he is or how he runs his business. We actually wish him the best.
There you go.
But he doesn't have the same values as us. And I personally think he's in it for the money, and that's not why we're in it. We're in it for completely different reasons.
We're hitting like a little bit of
And I'm gonna let you hear what Brother Shah has to say about that in a hot second. But Myron and Fresh can do what they want to do. These guys, they truly started from nothing, and they changed YouTube and the manosphere in the red pill world on their own. The two of those two dudes came together and they changed the way people do business, right? And just keep it 100. Myron and Fresh reached out to old boy when he was doing pranks or whatever, trying to get him on their platform back in the day. Oh, and for whatever reason, didn't want to deal with him. Now, I mean, cool. It is what it is, right? But now the tables have turned, and old boy like, oh, let's collab, because he's gone into a market share that that's not his thing, right? From what I understand, old boy was doing clips of pranks and stuff like that and was killing the game because he'd been in the game a long time and he knew he had to evolve. It's business. I've watched whatever podcast. I've never sat through an entire episode, but I kind of watch it, early on when he was getting started. And I'm like, look, dude's a little weird, but I'm like, that's a West Coast thing. You know what I mean? He's just a West Coast white boy. Then I figured out he was in Santa Barbara. I'm like, oh yeah, it makes sense. But he's not about the whole red pill stuff, man. He's not. He's not about that world. He's not about that life. I don't think he means anyone any harm, but he's all about getting the bread. Who isn't? If dude, you know what I mean? Like now they're going to get into this whole thing about you're a grifter. No, you're a grifter. This is a business first and foremost, right? You get on YouTube, you get monetized. You know what I mean? You want to bring in some bread. It costs money to have these cameras and these lights and these computers and this Rodecaster Pro and all this other stuff that I have that I never even use. It takes money to do that, to put together a little travel kit and try to figure out how to use the different cameras and all that. Bro, it takes money to do that. You want to at least get your money back, right? But at the end of the day, people are doing this so they can get paid. Now, did Fresh get into this thinking he's going to be riding around in G-Wagons and Rolls Royces and Lamborghinis? No. Did Myron get into this thing thinking he was going to buy 19 properties inside of 2 years? No. But the money started coming. They took full advantage, like you should as a good capitalist. And it is what it is. So this whole thing, they're gonna read whatever podcast had to say about Myron and Fresh's comments. Let's continue.
bit of a no true Scotsman here with a lot of these content creators and the red pill. And it's just interesting that he outright says, they're just in it for the money. Because in my view, so many of these creators are. But let's go and look at whatever's response to this. Here's the comment below the video, and this is from whatever podcast. You can see the check marks. Let's read what they said. As for Myron's unsubstantiated claim that we're just in it for the money, so Fresh and Fit does their show for charity and out of the goodness of their heart, ? Fresh and Fit monetizes their audience way more than we do. Some of what they do, DMs on demand, 500, high value.
So DMs on demand, right? When they do DMs on demand, they do it when people ask for it. Now, I've never used DMs on demand, but I understand the concepts. And it's not as if they monetize that to the fullest. Like, we're going to get every dime out of DMs on demand, which they could. They could run that thing once a quarter. And they will never run out of guys. Because we all know in today's dating market, Instagram is the end all to be all. Forget dating apps. It's all about Instagram. DMs on demand explains the dynamic of Instagram dating. I didn't know how much it costs. $500? That's not a bad price at all. They're going to start talking about High Value Academy, $700. I don't know what that is. I mean, honestly, High Value Academy, don't know what that is. I do know what DMs on demand are. And old boy is sitting here saying, well, you're saying that I'm just in it for the money. You're in for the money. What Myron was saying was, dude is in the red pill manosphere space because it was good for his platform and his business. He had to evolve, and he went to this. And look at his format. It's fresh and fit West Coast. That's all it is. It's fresh and fit West Coast, run by a guy who has zero game. It's run by a guy who, I mean, I would guess, I ain't never seen dude. I would guess he's over 6 feet or close to it. I would guess he's sitting on some bread because he was successful on YouTube back in the day and he was doing prank videos, right? And he's living in one of the most expensive areas in America, and he seems to be doing okay. So I don't believe that he's a red pillar. I don't believe he believes in our matrix stuff and all that. Like, dude is out there dating how he wants to date. He understands that there's a difference between male and female dating dynamics and mating strategies, but he doesn't really care. He's not affected by it. I don't see this dude as someone who's out there struggling to get women, right? And I think that's what Myron is talking about. Like, dude is here simply because it's a way to make money. Myron and Fresh have guys coming up to them, thanking them, hey man, if it wasn't for your video on this or your video on that, I was gonna delete myself. But you know, that video allowed me to go one more day, and now I understand what happened, and it wasn't me, and it was just, and it not necessarily wasn't her fault, it's just the way it works. And you know, and now I'm here and I've gotten into the gym and I got my money up, got my body right, got my mind right, and I'm out here crushing it. There's a lot of dudes who run up on Fresh and Fit with that kind of a story. Guys walking around with a bullet in a baggie, like, this is the bullet I was going to use. Right? Myron and Fresh could have made, and I'm just making up numbers here, but they could have easily made probably another 45% more in income on different things. Whenever they have a big event, and they probably get mad at me for saying this, but whenever Myron and Fresh has a big event, they lose money. Whenever they have a get together or they do something in person, they lose money, because they pay for everything. Right? Now, you know, like I said, Myron and Fresh might get mad at me for telling y'all that, but I'm telling you the truth. So yeah, there's a difference between these dudes. But as far as the business goes, yeah, and they're gonna run down the rest of like this whatever guy. You know what I'm saying? Just, this is how you make yourself look bad. I mean, we all do it, but I wouldn't have fired this off. I would have sent that to somebody first. Because dude, you look like a little punk right here. And this is y'all guy, West Coast. This is y'all dude. The weird dude who likes to wear World War I costumes. This is the guy right here, right? Let's continue.
Academy 700. The high value academy thing is interesting to me because so many of these like red pill people who are supposedly advocating for men are selling these like high value man things. You know what I mean? And a lot of like this whole sphere has been taken over by that high value man narrative, which I understand how it can work, and I understand how it can work for some people, and I understand self-improvement is important. But I think it's just as ridiculous as saying like everybody can be rich. And the truth is that's not feasible. Everybody can't be rich. You know what I mean? But this is like everybody can be a high value man, you know. And I did read Myron's book. I do have it, Why Women Deserve Less, you know, and at the end of it, he basically just says, well, you know, if you can be a high value man, then it's all on the women to carry the relationship. So you should try to be that. And in the meantime, you should make as much money and focus on you and just don't spend it on women. He's basically saying like, don't simp. You know, it's kind of implied that not everybody will make it. So I'll give him that a little bit. But it's like, what I remember is there was Andrew Tate. And Andrew Tate did the first, you know, Hustlers University. He was making so much money and he blew up. And then all these other creators wanted to like be like him and copy that business model. So it's like you got Fresh and Fit with this high value academy or whatever that is. Then you got Sneeko with this creativity kit. His was like the most obviously like, you know, copying Andrew Tate in that way. And then Pearl has her own version. I think it's called Wife School or something like that. But to me, it's just all just a grift, you know, like they're selling you a dream that most of us can't get. I mean, I'm just an average guy, you know, and none of these schools are going to help out with that. But let's read the rest of the comment.
You know, is everyone going to be Patrick Bet David wealthy? No. Is everyone going to be a millionaire? No. Can everyone be high value? Now you got to define high value. Right? So can you get better? You can get better. Can you get to 6 figures? You can get to 6 figures. You can get to 6 figures. The thing is, everyone doesn't want to put in the work to get there. So there are folks out here who are going to pay for these courses or whatever. Hey, more power to you. I'm not going to do that, but there are people who are going to do that. Fine. But that's the thing with America. In America, everyone believes that they can be rich. But the truth is, not everyone's going to get there, right? The 1%ers are the 1%ers. Like the top 20%, that's the top 20%. Everyone else falls in the bottom, really, the bottom 99 or the bottom 80. Can you get to the 1%? Yes. Right. But then when it comes to womanizing and chasing women and all that sort of thing, you don't have to have money. Money helps, but it doesn't, that's not the end all to be all. Right. You don't just have to be in shape. Right. We talk about this all the time. You just don't have to be funny. Like all these things come into play. You just can't be like, I'm the funniest guy. I know some hilarious comedians that make a lot of money that can't get on with women, right? Because they have no social IQ, right? They're just not there, right? They're social misfits, but they're funny on stage. They come off stage and like, boom, they can't get on with women, so they wind up having to pay. Same thing with the crypto boys. There's a lot of crypto millionaires out there. Can't get on with women. They got all the money in the world, but they don't know how to talk to women. They lack that, or they're fat, right? Or it's just so many other things. It's all that comes into play. If your mission is to get a woman, yes, you can work yourself into the top 20%, which is typically that's the top 20% is what women want. The men who have those traits in the top 20% are the ones that those are traits that women tend to want and they gravitate towards. You can do that. You could be a dude living in your mama's basement, but have enough game to pull women. If you could pull women, you got a rotation of beautiful women, you're in the top 10%. You're not going to be able to keep those women long, right? But you're going to be able to pull them. Why can't you keep them? Because you're broke. So if you take care of the financial side of it, you ain't got to have 6 figures. But if you get yourself into a position where you're making $70,000 a year or whatever, just enough money so we can get your own little studio or something, you're going to get more women. And with women comes access. I mean, that's all that is. But I'll save that for a later date. Let's continue.
Doing way more sponsorships, supplements, and peen pills every episode. Oh, wow. I didn't know Fresh and Fit was selling peen pills. Selling tickets to sub-milestone parties, live events, hundreds of dollars. If anyone has exact dollar amounts, DM me on IG. Merch, $50 for a t-shirt. Fresh charges $3,000 for an hour consult, $1,000 for 20 minutes. Myron charges $900 for a 1 hour consult. Super chat, dono memberships. There's probably more.
So right here, like this Brian dude, really, he's going in, right? He's going in. He's fighting for market share. He knows that Fresh and Fit, that platform has more pull over the guys that he's trying to get on his platform. He knows that Fresh and Fit is the flagship. He understands that. He's number 2. He knows that, right? And this stuff he's talking about Fresh, like, well, Fresh is charging $3,000 for an hour consult. Man, there are thousands of people trying to get his time. I'm not trying to justify his rates, but if you want to talk to Fresh, it costs $3,000 for an hour, $1,000 for 20 minutes if you want to talk to him. But guess what? If you network with him, if you add value, if you know how to get close to Fresh, it won't cost you nothing. I could text him right now. It don't cost nothing. Fresh met me through the platform. If it was all about money with Myron and Fresh, they would be charging me. You can go back and watch their the content. When I send super chats, and they'll tell me to stop sending money. Whenever I would talk to Myron and Fresh in person, like Fresh is taking me out, wouldn't take a dime from me. They're real dudes, man. But you got to understand something. There are thousands and thousands of guys trying to get at them. So yeah, you're gonna have to do that. If you really want to talk to me, it's $1,000. Hell, I charge. If you want to talk to me, it's $100 an hour. If I don't know you, hit me up, you DM me. I don't know who you are, and you want to talk, I'm gonna charge you, bro. I stopped giving information out for free. I give it out for free on this platform. You see me in real life, man, you're gonna have to charge. I'm gonna have to charge you. Because then I know you taking this serious. You ain't just blowing me off like, all right, cool. And this whatever guy, if you guys know how much they charge for events, let me know. Fresh and Fit, they don't do a lot of events, bro. that they charged for. They did the 100,000 party, they did the 500,000 subscriber party, and they did the 1 million party. Those are the 3 events that I know of that they did. They went to Dallas. They wouldn't allow Fresh and Fit Dallas. Shout out to Cornerstone, right? They wouldn't let Rod, Eric, and Sink and them charge for any events. They wouldn't allow it. So it's not a whole lot out there. And yes, there was some problems with those 3 parties because they trusted the wrong dudes. People who know. But at the end of the day, that 1 million party, they made it right as best they could. Everything was comped. Everything. Free alcohol, free food, everything, the boat ride, all that. Once people, because it was a hiccup, that was a problem. So they made modifications. They lost a lot of money on that. Right. So it is what it is, man. Let's continue.
We take super chats, donos. We've done about 7 sponsorships total. We have merch, memberships. That's it. Look at the bare bones facts evidence. FNF has monetized their audience far more than we have. We put on an entertaining show. If you want to drop a super chat that we read, cool. That's pretty much the extent of it. We are not fleecing our audience selling our own digital products. We aren't doing landing page funnels and charging $500 for a dating course from a guy who lies and claims he has a 1,000 plus body count. Man, see, these
people go after Fresh about that all the time. I can't tell you how many people have came up to me in real life or online. Do you think Fresh really slept with 1,000 women? I don't know what that man's doing with his penis. Why do you care? But are you asking me, is it possible? Is Fresh out there getting a lot of women? Absolutely. Absolutely. They're in Miami. If y'all haven't been to Miami, y'all don't understand. I say it all the time. Them people playing fit. Them girls down there in Miami, they bout it, bro. If you got just a little bit of game, you're going to get yourself a baddie. But these guys from flyover country or from wherever these dudes with no game, they go to Miami and they run up on a beautiful woman who's working at McDonald's or Wendy's or at the ice cream parlor, fall in love with her, start simping. She going to run your pockets, bro. If you don't have enough game to understand how it works, she will run your pockets. Why not? But if you know what you're doing, she's going to come through and have fun. It's going to be grown up, right? Is it possible for a man, an average dude in Miami, to have a very high body count? Yeah, it is. It's possible, bro. It's possible, man. I'm just keeping it 100, right? And when Fresh only messes around in Brickell, Wynwood, South Beach, that's pretty much all he messes around in. He doesn't go to Kendall. He doesn't go to Hialeah. He doesn't go to Doral. He doesn't go all the way up to Fort Lauderdale, the Broward area. He stays right down there. And yes, he's eating. Right? I'm just letting you know. Why are so many people worried about this guy's sex life? He ain't lying. I've been in the spots with him. I see how he operates. Fresh isn't running around talking about baby, 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 holla at me, holla at me, holla at me. Holla, holla, holla. He ain't doing that. Where's my button? I got a button for that. This ain't Fresh.
Holla, 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 holla.
That's not Fresh. He sits back, man, and women come to him. They know who he is. They come to him. And he was doing that before the Lamborghinis, before the Rolls Royces, before the G-Wagon, before the drip. He was doing it way back then. Yes. I lived in Miami from 2009 until like 2012. Bro, I'm telling you, of all the places I've ever been, all the places I've ever lived, Miami, hands down, was the best when it came to dating and womanizing. Those women down there play fair. You don't have to be an advanced in your game to come up on beautiful women in Miami. I'm here to tell you, bro. The hardest women to talk to in the world, especially in America, bartenders, waitresses, and strippers. The hardest women to talk to, for real. Like the ones that like to really get to know and not get wrecked in the process. It ain't so hard down there. They're just looking for good dudes. That's all they're looking for. They're just looking for good dudes. And it's an abundance of beautiful women down there, man. I'm just letting you know. Is it possible to have an extremely high body count? Absolutely. I'm gonna leave it there for this short. I think I'm gonna do a live tonight on this topic. If anybody want to jump on, it's 10/23/2023. Just so you guys know. All right, it's October 23rd. I think I'm gonna do a live on this tonight. So I'm just going to put this out for now. If you guys want to come back tonight on, I really want to know, we're going to do a live and we're going to just go ahead and spend some time on this because I can see I'm already getting long-winded. You know what I mean? And I want to talk more about the money being made and how this works. But whatever podcast, Just Pearly Things, Donovan Sharp, DL Saint, Coach Greg Adams. You know what I mean? This is Shah. We're all in it for the money to some extent, man. This is a business, y'all. This is a business. This is a business. We're all providing a service and entertainment to those who want this type of entertainment. That's what this is. You know what I mean? But we'll get into the rest of it tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed that quick little teaser because I'm sitting here like, yeah, man, I want to spend some more time on this. So we're going to get in this tonight. I reached out to Brother Shah. If we're lucky, fingers crossed, maybe he'll get back to me. It'd be nice to have him on because he gets into some stuff when he talks about advocating for changes in the law and talks about, you know, how to truly help men in America and our, you know, our family law system and this and that. He brings up some good points. We didn't even get that far yet. So we're gonna talk about this tonight. So there you have it. That's it. That's a quick DL short. Thanks for rocking out with me on this short, guys. And I will see y'all tonight. It will be tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that today. I'm sorry, I can't think right. I'm getting all. We're gonna talk about this some more tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on I Really Want to Know podcast. I'm DL Saint. I'll see y'all then. Peace.